Hi, this is Casey Feicht with KidsYogaGuide.com, and today in my video I wanted to talk about what is yoga. So when I meet people and I tell them that I run a kids yoga business, they usually look at me a little bit puzzled, because if they're not true yogis practicing and living the yogic life, they think of yoga as just a bunch of movements or postures, maybe some pretzel poses or something they can't do because they can't sit still long enough, or they never really tried it, or excuses. And they think, well, how can kids do that? So I'm not going to go into the great detail of kids yoga today, because I want to talk about yoga as a whole, and then maybe you'll understand how kids can practice yoga. But yoga is a way of life. It's a way of living. And so regardless of what age you're sharing yoga with, you adapt it to who you're with. And yoga, as I mentioned, is not just these postures. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole philosophy. It's a way of living. And Patanjali wrote the Yoga Sutras, and inside this book of Yoga Sutras, he explains the eight-limbed path of yoga. And along these 8 limbs, these 8 steps essentially, the asanas, which is a Sanskrit word for poses, is one of the 8 possibilities. Meditation is another, which we're very well aware of. Many religions and philosophies and spiritual practices practice meditation. Samadhi, which is the state of bliss or just extreme consciousness of nirvana, is another one, the path. And one that I really want to highlight is the yamas and the niyamas. And so these are really like life, rules of life, or laws of life, ways to live, rules for living. And they are about being truthful, about being content, about honoring our planet, our material objects, our minds, as far as moderation and telling the truth and not taking others, and not hoarding or overpossessing, being kind, acting with kindness instead of violence. They're also about being clean, about being content and having gratitude, disciplining yourself, and this practice of self-study, of really looking inward at yourself, because we're all growing or we're dying, right? We're always in this path of change. It's constant change. And then one of them, which I love, I have this tattoo on my wrist. It's Ishvara Pranidhanadva, and it means to devote yourself to a higher ideal, either kind of through prayer or a connection to a higher power or a God or a divine spirit energy, whatever you want to call that. Yoga is not specific dogma. It's like, here's all these things, try it out, find what works for you. So mindfulness is a huge part of yoga. Pranayama is another one of the 8 limbs, and pranayama means life force, energy, breath, to control your life force. Yama is to control, and prana is life force. So to control your life force is to control your breath that moves in and out of your body. So if you are conscious of your breath, you're practicing yoga. If you're aware and conscious of the moment, you're in a meditative state, you're practicing yoga. If you're moving your body and through the specific postures of yoga that have been around for thousands of years, you're practicing yoga. You could be standing at the post office or the grocery store, standing in a focused, concentrated posture in a place of mindfulness. You're doing mountain pose. So yoga is so many things, and the word yoga means to yoke or unite. So we live in a world of duality: hot, cold, right, wrong, good, bad, and I was talking to some friends last night, and they said, well, how was your week? And I said it was interesting, because it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. There was some interesting stuff that had come up, and so letting go of that judgment, that's yoga. It's a way of living and being. And so when you yoke or unite the duality of what we consider right or wrong or good or bad, if you just allow things to be and let yourself grow and learn from that, and come into this state that, hey, it's all good. As far as I'm concerned, from a soul perspective, all the challenges I have been through in my life, and trust me, I have been to hell and back many times. I've picked a very hard life. My soul picked a very hard life, mostly when I was younger. It's just continually gotten better. And when you can learn to forgive, when you can learn to grow and see the beauty in everything that happens, again, letting go of that right or wrong or good or bad blaming, you come into this state of yoga. And, you know, I like to think of yoga as a place to encourage enlightenment. And I can honestly say I'm enlightened because I'm lighter than I was yesterday or last week or last year. I am not enlightened as far as like I know everything and you know, life is 100% perfect and pure and good all the time, because it's not. I'm human. But enlightenment is a process of lightening up, letting go of the weight we hold on our shoulders, the world that we carry around. It's a lightening up, enlightening. So when you're laughing, when you're smiling, you're enlightened, you're present, you're having fun. That's yoga. That's what yoga is. So it's really this spiritual practice of connecting with the divine that's inside of you and all around you. Right now, look, I'm sitting in this beautiful garden. There are flowers all around me. This is probably the third take. I had to stop and video this bug that I've never seen before. It looked like a hummingbird / bee. I don't know what it was. And, you know, the beauty of just sitting and seeing the flowers, watching the birds, watching the garden grow. That's yoga. It's enlightening. It's pure peace and beautiful consciousness. So I encourage you to practice yoga. There are so many resources to practice yoga. It's stress reducing, it's calming, it's relaxing. It can be a hardcore workout. It can be great for your body. You can sweat. You know, this day and age, especially in Western yoga, as I like to call it, we have restorative, we have power, we have kids yoga, we have prenatal, we have chair yoga, we have restorative, therapeutic yoga, you name it, it's out there. One of my favorite websites is yogadownload.com. You'll find me on there with some yoga classes that you can purchase. You can do a streaming plan. You can find some free classes there. There is office yoga and beginner yoga and advanced yoga, and you know, there's so many different styles of yoga. The beauty is, you know, yoga is not hiding out in a mountaintop in a cave and meditating and trying to be enlightened. It's about living in this world with your family, with your jobs, with your careers, with problems like bankruptcy and not enough money to pay your bills and trying to run a business and relationships and jealousy and envy and conflict and communication and bliss and love and joy. Yoga is all of that. And it's just, I think the biggest thing that yoga is, it's an introspective process where you grow, where you find joy, where you find happiness. And that's what it's been for me. I've been practicing yoga for 15 years. And I plan on practicing for the rest of my life. And that doesn't mean I'm on the mat every single damn day. You know, you see the hashtag sometimes on yoga. I would like to be. As a single mother, as a business owner, my yoga is my yoga practice. And nobody needs to judge that. I don't need to judge that. We all live and practice yoga in a way that serves us for the highest good. So I encourage you to try it out, check it out, look into it, and let go of your judgments. Just have fun in the process. So when I teach kids yoga, we do some of the sun salutations, which is a series of movements of forward bend, back bends, and stretching the whole body, breathing the whole body. We do it with sing-songy words and rhymes and games, and we make it fun. It's just a truly wonderful practice. And if kids grow up learning that yoga is a fun and playful practice that's good to help them calm down, it's good to help them control their energy. Same for you as adults. Control your energy, calm down, deal with anger, deal with the issues going on. Then we can all continue to grow in this practice, and they will grow up loving it. So I want to thank you so much for taking your time today to watch this video, to explore yoga with me. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste. And play every day. Yay! Smile.